Hey book babes, welcome back to another video. I'm really excited for today because today is part 3 of my little mini series on all of the books I'm excited to read in 2025. If you don't know, I have already posted part 1, which was romance books, and part 2, which is thrillers. Today is part 3, which is mysteries. I decided to break it down into a few different videos because I had created a list of all of the books I was excited to read in 2025, and I realized there was just so many, and the video would have been like a couple hours long, and I just didn't want to do that. So I decided to do it this way. So yes, I've already posted romance and thrillers. Now we're getting into mystery, which is a personal favorite of mine. I have picked 8 mystery books that come out this year that I'm excited to dive into, but that does not mean that I'm going to stick to those 8 or even read all 8. These are just the 8 books that I'm really interested in for the mystery genre. And when I say mystery, I mean cozy mystery or solving crimes or, a little bit of Nancy Drew type action, the Hardy Boys type action. I want the cute mystery as well as the interesting and well thought out mysteries. And based on the synopsis of all of these books, I think that they've done that. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first on my list that comes out first this year is Serial Killer's Guide to Marriage by Asia McKay. This one already came out on January 14th. It has a 3.69 on Goodreads, but it's only 2,500 ratings, so I'm kind of taking that with a grain of salt. So this book is about former serial killers Hazel and Fox, and they want to retire from being serial killers. They're just tired of it. They move to the suburbs, they have a baby together, but they find out that married life is just not as fulfilling as expected. It turns out that Hazel kills somebody without telling Fox, which I guess is a big no-no in a serial killer marriage. It sets off a chain of events that kind of threatens to destroy the whole family. So this book sounds interesting. It sounds like it could be funny. It sounds like it could be very cozy read. I don't know. I mean, I also read a comment that somebody said it was very Mr. and Mrs. Smith vibes, which I totally see. Very Mr. and Mrs. Smith, two spies. They gave up that life. And then it turns out they're still being spies. So I do want to read this book. I feel like I want to read it in between a couple of heavy reads. It might be really good in between, just a nice, almost a comical relief. It just seems like a funny story. So I feel like it might be nice, a nice light read, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, number 2 on the list is Death in the Arctic by Tom Hindle. This one also already came out on January 16th. On Goodreads, it has a 3.78, but that's after only 400 reviews. So I'm really not taking that review seriously or that rating seriously. Tom Hindle has written a few other books I'm loving the covers of. I'll put them up here. The Murder Game, Murder on Lake Garda, A Fatal Crossing, these covers are just really cool looking. It just makes me want to just own them just to have pretty covers. I love a good cover, so that's just kind of who I am. But I'm really loving it. I've never heard of Tom Hindle before. I've never heard of his books, but I'm living for the covers. Okay, so this book is about a woman named Chloe. Chloe has been invited on the maiden voyage of the Osprey, a state-of-the-art airship to the North Pole. Chloe is an aspiring travel writer, so she sees this as her big break. But soon after departure, a passenger is found dead. After some time, it becomes pretty clear that there's a killer on board of this ship and everyone's a suspect. So the passengers kind of turn on each other. They all have their own secrets and motives. And Chloe just kind of finds herself intertwined in this, trying to solve the crime. So this is kind of a classic locked room mystery. If you've seen the movie Death on the Nile, which I think is based on the Agatha Christie novel of the same name, it's kind of similar vibes, I feel like. It's just a bunch of people on a ship. They can't seem to escape. There's a killer. Amongst them, they don't know who it is. But it sounds pretty good. It sounds really good. It sounds, I love a good classic, whodunit kind of mystery. That's the kind of book I want to curl up in front of a fireplace with when it's snowing outside. And that's what I want. That's literally what I want. So I'm excited to read this book. I feel like it's going to be really good. And I'm hoping to love it because then I'll want to pick up Tom Hindle's other books, which I love the covers of. Number 3 on my list is Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man by Jessie Q. Sutanto, I think. I hope I pronounced that correctly. This comes out on April 1st. Now, this is number 2 in the Vera Wong series. I have not read number 1 in the Vera Wong series, but I've always wanted to. The first in the series is called Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers, which did very well. It got a 4.03 on Goodreads. And this first book of the Vera Wong series is one that I've actually always wanted to read. I don't know why I haven't yet. I just never picked it up. So now the second book of the series is coming out and everybody's excited about it, and I'm getting FOMO. So I really want to read the first one first and then hop into this one. But essentially this book is about Vera Wong, who is a self-proclaimed matchmaker. She is obsessed with matchmaking. She runs a tea shop. She's very involved with her community. But one morning she finds a dead body in her tea shop. It's the man that she recently tried to set her son up with. So instead of leaving this to the police, she decides that she is better equipped to solve this murder because she feels that she knows everybody in the neighborhood. She knows all of their secrets. So she starts her investigation and involves a lot of snooping, meddling, gossiping, just kind of getting involved in people's lives, which I guess is her bread and butter. And all the while, she's still trying to run her tea shop as normal and avoid getting arrested. Oh, it sounds really fun. It sounds exciting. It sounds like a really funny, fun, nice pastime read, which I'm looking forward to. I also wonder if this would be a good audiobook. I think it could be. It sounds like it could be kind of like one of those fun books to read while I clean or while I'm driving. So maybe I'll look into that, but I'm interested. If you've listened to an audiobook, let me know. Okay, so number 4 is How to Seal Your Own Fate by Kristen Perrin. If you're a big mystery fan, then you probably knew this was going to be on my list because this is book number 2 in the Castle Knowles series. The first being How to Solve Your Own Murder, which was wildly popular when it came out last year. And the cover just really gets me. I love this cover. I would be so excited to own the second book because I just feel like they're going to look so nice on the bookshelf together. Maybe I'll even display one of them. But contrary to the fact that I own this book, I've never read it. And the second book of this series does come out on April 29th. So I need to get started. I need to read this book because I have heard the best things about this series, or I guess about the book because I haven't really heard much about the second one since it's not out yet. So How to Seal Your Own Fate is about a woman named Nora. Now, Nora is a woman with secrets, and she does not want these secrets out. She decides to move to a quaint little village. She wants a quiet life, and in this village is an oracle, and I guess she's hoping that this oracle will help keep her secrets hidden somehow. Now, I guess on one of her visits to this oracle, the oracle gives her this prophecy of there will be a dead body or a body discovered in some way in the town. And lo and behold, a body does get discovered shortly after Nora moves to this town. So Nora kind of finds herself drawn into this mystery. She decides to investigate. I guess this is a bit of a whodunit combined with a magical twist, It's that kind of mystery. So this is a mystery with a touch of magical realism, which I'm definitely here for. I love a good magical realism book. So before I read that though, I need to read How to Solve Your Own Murder, which even the synopsis of this book is very exciting. I actually like the synopsis of this book even more than I like How to Seal Your Own Fate. But I really hope I love Kristen Perrin's writing because I think I have another book by Kristen Perrin. No, just kidding. I don't. I actually have never heard of the other books that she's written before, but this one does sound really good. So I'm excited for it. I just remembered actually, this one is on my February TBR. So maybe I can get to this month, give you my thoughts, and then I can read book number 2 in April. Okay, so the next on the list is The Maid Secret by Nita Prose. This one is also part of a series that is wildly popular. I am talking everybody online was talking about this book because book number 1 in the series is The Maid, another book I haven't read yet. I know, I have to fix this. And can we have a moment for this cover? Simple, clean, and yet eye-catching. I don't know how they do it. But I received this book from Book of the Month back in 2022. So it's been 3 years, still haven't read it. Need to read it because now we're on book number 3. In between book 1 and 3, there's actually another book as well as a novella. So this is actually the 4th installment of this series. So I need to get started. Book number 2 was called The Mystery Guest, and the novella just came out actually in October. It's a Christmas story and it's called The Mistletoe Mystery, which I heard it was really cute. So I do want to kind of read that, but I like to read series in order. If I know I'm going to read a whole series, I want to read everything in order, even if I don't need to, even if it's like a bunch of standalones. I still want to read them. So this book is about Molly the maid. She is the head maid at some hotel. I hope I'm not giving myself any spoilers here. She's planning her own wedding, and I guess there's also some kind of auction at the hotel. And I guess a $1 million artifact that's supposed to be in the auction goes missing, and Molly decides to investigate the crime. Now, I'm trying not to go too in detail because I'm worried about all the spoilers, like the fact that she's planning her own wedding. I feel like that's going to ruin something for me, which is great, but that's what I get for not having caught up. But I like this synopsis because so far all of the books that I've put on my list have been about murders, and this one's just like a theft. So I feel like it could be it's like less daunting maybe, or I don't really know the verbiage for that, but it's a different type. It's a different type of vibe when there's not been like a murder or a death of some sort. So this one does come out on April 8th. So there's a lot of mysteries coming out in April, I've noticed. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like a mystery month, or maybe a lot of people like to read mysteries around the summertime. So maybe that's why. Not really sure. If you know, leave a comment. Next on the list is This Is Not a Game by Kelly Mullen. This also comes out on April 8th, so another April book. Got a lot of mystery reading to do in April, but this book simply stuck out to me simply because of the cover. I mean, it's just gorgeous. I'm such a sucker for a good cover. I will buy a book. I will judge a book based off of its cover. I really will. So this is a book about a woman named Thea. Thea has a troubled past, but now she's moved on from her troubles. She's trying to rebuild her life. She receives this like mysterious invitation to participate in this real life treasure hunt. And while she's participating in this game, it turns kind of deadly. It takes like a dark turn. She kind of realizes she's a bit in over her head, but she finds herself trapped. There's not really a way out of this game except to finish it. She kind of dives deeper into this game. She kind of investigates a little bit. She kind of unravels maybe like a conspiracy of some sort. And that's all I know. I mean, I think this book, based off of the synopsis, it does seem to lean kind of towards the thriller genre. And I know that I have separated thriller and mystery, but I think that there's a lot of a mystery aspect to this, which is why I kind of put it on this list as opposed to the thriller list. But we'll find out. I don't know. Maybe it's a true thriller. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Next is A Murder for Miss Hortense by Mel Pennant. This one comes out on June 10th. I don't know much about this author. I think this might be her debut, perhaps, which I'm here for. I love a good debut. But this book is about Miss Hortense. She is a retired nurse and a Jamaican immigrant. She's enjoying retired life. She's living in the suburbs until a man is found dead nearby. So I think somehow this death or murder kind of brings into focus Miss Hortense's kind of troubled past. Unsolved crime, I think, is somewhere in her past. I'm not really sure. But in present day, Miss Hortense is pretty well known for her attention to detail, so she decides to use her skills to try to solve the crime. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the No. 1 Ladies Detective Agency, if you've ever read that book. I read that book in high school, and it was one of my favorite high school reads. I actually have been wanting to do a reread of that one because I still have it somewhere. But yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of that, just kind of like this older woman solving a crime. Vera Wong is also similar, but Vera Wong, her character seems a little bit more spunky as opposed to Miss Hortense, who seems kind of like the classic, maybe like grandmother style vibe. So I'm not really sure if they're the same, but it's kind of in that same overall arching theme of just kind of an older woman solving a crime, which I love. I'm here for. I also read The Thursday Murder Club, which was fun. I like it when old people solve crimes, I guess. If you've ever seen the show Murder, She Wrote, that was my mom's favorite show when I was a kid, so I used to watch it with her. And it's very much like that. She uses her attention to detail. She's very proper. So I have a feeling that Miss Hortense is going to be a lot like that. And speaking of seniors and murder of some sort, I have my final book, which is Kills Well with Others by Deanna Raybourn. This one actually comes out March 4th. This is actually book number 2 in the Killers of a Certain Age series. It's again a series that I still have not read. But essentially, this is about a bunch of like retired assassins, and their assassin organization is out to kill them in some way. Not sure where it goes from there. And so now there's book number 2, and I think it's the same characters. So Billy, Mary Ellen, Helen, and Natalie, I think those are the names of the 4 senior assassins. They're back, and I guess a mole in their organization leaks their identities to a notorious gangster. And so they set out to hunt down the mole, as well as trying to keep themselves alive from this gangster. But I heard that this book is really funny and really charming, so that's why I want to read number 2 of the series as well. I have a feeling I'm going to like this book. It's apparently very Thursday Murder Club, which I really liked that book. It felt flat a little bit for me sometimes, but not for the most part. I enjoyed it. I read it with my book club, and I remember my book club was not that into it, but I actually liked it a lot more than them. So I do want to read this book. I'm ready for like a good laugh, and I think that this book's supposed to be funny. So I want to read this one, and then if I really like it, then I'm going to read number 2. And that is it. Those are all of the 2025 mystery releases that are just catching my eye in some way or another. I don't think I've read actually any of the authors, even though I own half the books. For some reason, I haven't read the authors, but I hope to change that this year because I really do want to read these authors. I want to give them a chance. I really love a good mystery, especially kind of like a good whodunit, classic, closed door, or not closed door, like just can't escape kind of mystery, like locked room. That's what's called, locked room mystery. I will definitely be posting reviews of all of the books that I mentioned that I do get around to reading. If you are not following me or subscribed to me and you like book reviews, you like book hauls, you like just kind of all the bookish things, TBR, reading lists, all of that sort, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss a video from me. This is part 3 of all of the book releases that I'm interested in reading this year, as well as I post a lot of book reviews. It's my goal to post a book review for every single book I read this year. It's proving to be pretty hard because I feel like I'm actually reading faster than I'm able to create these videos, but I don't want to give up on my goal. I don't want to. It's my resolution. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to discuss books with you. Please comment below if any of these books stick out to you, or if you have any other mysteries that you think I should be on the lookout for this year, because I am always loving a good mystery. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.